Truered Studio put out some cool figures, which leads me to my semi-yearly annual sort of purchase. Don't buy from them much because they're based in Italy, so the shipping is really expensive, usually like $20 something, which is the price of a figure, so I usually wait to get some stuff that I'm really excited about. Getting inside, got a freebie button here, which is based off one of the figures we'll take a look at with a scary looking mouth and their logo on the inside. And let's go ahead and empty out the rest of the content, which has their figures on a pretty streamlined packaging system now with the bags and then the card inside of them. I picked up 2 of their head packs, and it looks like another freebie was a 2x2 tile with their name on it as their logo. And it looks like it's the exact same print that was used on these, maybe? Looks like maybe the outline at least is the same. Truered's an interesting company since they do some pop culture characters like Braveheart there with the Mel Gibson figure, but the rest of these are their original content. And due to their very stylized figures, it'll be hit or miss for you depending on your taste for your collection, but really wanted to get this figure, just didn't have enough to buy at the time when it came out, and some other interesting options were there as well. But let's go ahead and crack open those head packs, which I already sort of mentioned, have their little stamp there with the logo. They're just little envelopes. You just need to tear one side of them, and each of these is going to have 4 different heads all stacked together. So that's one right there, and we'll take a closer look at these on the stand in a bit too. And the second one, you can see right there, lots of different color options. And looks like I got different styles for everything, no repeats, except for the 2 Braveheart heads. I'm definitely not a fan of these blind bag type of offerings. I'd rather buy the heads individually, but all of the head packs I've gotten from them have had a really good amount of variety. I guess color of the plastic wise, I got 2 different repeating colors with the satin and then also the lime, but variety of printing is good. And the way I would assume that these work is it's supposed to be the new wave. You have a higher percentage probability to get prints of the newer figures like the 4 I got there, but I've also got one of these in one of the head packs before, and then this Godfather face print is also from an older figure, so you have some chance of getting prints from all of the different areas of figures if you get these, which is kind of nice if you missed out on some of those older figures, but they'll be in different colors, so it's always a gamble, which is why I do not like the blind bags, but pretty happy with everything I got here. These satin heads, I always like to think that I could use those as like ghost characters, especially with that one there. That's kind of a cool print, but I like getting the weird cartoony ones too, so pretty happy with what I got. Moving on to the figures, all the ones I got today are going to have the same packaging with the blue card. Has the TRS Art Toys logo on the front, little smiley face there that they're pad printed just like Lego. And the back will just have a quick write-up about their products and their website where I bought these, trueredstudio.com. And we'll go ahead and throw this on the stand now. I'll just start out with the horror movie night figure here, just because it has the least amount of printing, no accessories. Head is printed on a Patrick Star head on the back of it, featuring some nice blood splatter around that and kind of the fuzzy eye design that they do on some of their figures, which I kind of like. Bit of a neutral face. And then torso just says horror movie night with a spooky looking font with some squiggle in that, and just a generic blue pants print with some stitching. Looks like the hands are red, like he killed somebody, and that's where the blood is from. And I bought this mostly for the head. I thought that was kind of a cool part, and the torso is pretty decent too. But it's super simple. Looks like there might be some scuffing on the back of the torso. I'm assuming that's where they wipe the print. And this Patrick head is a little loose on the head, but that might actually just be the part since the inside connection isn't great compared to a Lego minifigure head. Looks like the legs have a little bit of printing where the hip piece sort of folds over it, so you can bend it a bit. There will be some more printing to give it more detailing when you're moving it around. But overall, nice, simple figure. Really happy to have that one. Might as well go to the other figure that also has the Patrick Star head, being the sea monster looking character. We saw one of the minifigure heads with that printed on it, and then also this is the one that the button is based on. It's kind of interesting to see it on that specialized piece, and then also on the minifigure head. Looks like this just has the pad for the mouth on it. I picked up this figure just because it is such a cool and interesting concept, being kind of that H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu type kaiju Colors on this are really great with the random yellow, almost lightning looking bolts going across, some toe printing, but really the head is the standout since it is completely pad printed red around that Patrick head. You can see on the inside the flesh showing there, but great concept. They've done some other good figures with this Patrick head, like the Ghostface Killer. I'll show that off in the comparison section, or if you want to see the review, it's up in the corner. But cool arm printing as well. Not super over detailed, which is kind of nice about their figures where they do have that simplified look, but still very unsettling with the detailing that they do choose to add. And glad to have this one as well. Just a strange character. Love the design. Just has cool detailing. Here's another one of their original characters and has some nice parts conceptually. Comes with this interesting accessory with this dome piece that has an enter password and keyboard sort of setup. I thought this part would be really interesting to use in a mock in some way. And other than that, you know, the other parts are kind of cool too, but not as exciting as a interesting part like this. You could put a computer component in there, and I thought that would be kind of cool for an Iron Man build or some other sort of superhero build. I didn't realize this when I bought it, but one of the coolest parts is that the hair has a printed little swirl on it, so a little extra value there. Nothing on the back of the head or the torso, but on the front, handwritten, made by humans, and then has kind of a glitchy, computery looking colorway there on the face where it does have pixels instead of just smooth lines. So you can see what they're going with here, where it is kind of a computer person. They have their little computer part that they're carrying with them. But like I said, I think the best part is that printed hair piece that is very cool. I'd love to get more printed hair pieces since it just adds a little bit, especially when it is on this classic Lego hair piece that's been around for forever, adding a little bit of flavor to that to spice it up a little bit for a pretty simple figure otherwise. Same goes for the horror movie night one, where just text on a torso, which is not something I really enjoy getting, but I like what they're going here with the design. Maybe could be a little bit more improved in some way, something with the legs maybe, but some decent parts. I could see myself using these for something. This next minifigure might end up being one of my favorites by them, being this ghost character. Features some nice silver printed chains, but I really love the head on here, and not only is it a fun, kind of cool print, it also glows in the dark, so little added feature there. Look at this cool cape that they threw onto. It's a little bit of a thicker fabric, kind of burlappy, honestly, in texture, but hand cut to give it a bit more of a ghostly, you know, kind of deceased look there, like it's been buried and damaged. But this isn't the only head, because turning it around gives you another face option with a much happier jack-o'-lantern looking face. Would have loved to have gotten those in orange, honestly, to be pumpkins. On the back of the torso too, you can see the other chains, and I'll just get the hair piece off so you can see, you know, both faces on the different sides. Faces are printed a little bit low on the head maybe, which is fine for a character like this. They're not going to be like super detailed and human-like, so who cares? Lots of forehead on him though, so that's kind of funny to see. But it looks like the chains on both sides are probably going to be the exact same design, you know, just flipped. But liking what I see, and I have an idea for another better look for this. And I just wanted to toss the cape back on, throw on a white hood, and I think this is a great look as well. Probably a little better than the hair, honestly, since it ties the whole look together. You know, you have the cape, you got the hood. This is what I would say a ghost in Lego would look to me, or how I would draw a ghost, other than, you know, just the sheet draped over a body type ghost. But this is such a fun concept. Really, really, really love the head. I think that is just a fun print, and it really drew my eye when it first got posted. I'm glad it was still in stock so I could buy it this time around. And we got one more figure, so let's go ahead and check that one out. You can probably tell from my purchases, I'm a big movie fan, so when I saw that they put out a Braveheart minifigure, had to jump on it. You know, it's an iconic movie, not necessarily one of my favorites, but just look at this nice kind of medieval look. Cool fabric waist cape there as well, but that's not all, because they also tossed in a second one, so you have a backup, which is nice. They've done that in the past as well. When I got my Patrick Bateman from them, they threw in a second raincoat, so It's always nice when you get an extra little bit of those pieces, especially these ones where if you rub the arms against them, I'm sure the printing could get damaged or other random things, you move the legs, could tear. So they're looking ahead and helping us out, so I appreciate that. Face print looks great, where it has that very neutral, kind of stoic look. Cheek lines kind of look a little goofy maybe, especially the one on the blue, how it is flesh and not like dark blue. But obviously if you got to limit the colors you're using on your prints, that makes a lot of sense. I think the hair choice overall is pretty good. It does cover up some of the printing though, especially in the back where it has that same sort of studded chainmail looking design on both sides and the strap continuing around. So great detailing there. You know, the sword, just a generic Lego sword. I'll just take that off quick. Plus taking the skirt off, you can see you're not missing any printing on the legs, so I might as well just keep that on. And I'll just say about this figure, I'm always surprised by what movie characters they actually put out, since they feel very horror-based in their overall theming with the company. And then they'll just put out cool figures like this. They've done Forrest Gump, which I missed out on, unfortunately. That one did sell out, and this one is also sold out now. Which also with their figures, it's really 50-50 on if they're actually going to sell out instantly or if they'll stick around for a bit. So that's what is always a bummer. Like I said, one of the biggest barriers to me buying more of their figures is the shipping cost, because it is the price of a minifigure. So I'm not going to make an order with 1 or 2 figures in it and then pay an additional $20 on top of that to get 2 figures. I want to make it worth it to me. And that's why I got like 5 figures, because I love spreading out the shipping a bit. You know, it's always nice to get the head packs as well to get some more parts options for fig barfs or just the general collection. But loving the detail on this. I think the torso is awesome. The printed fabric piece is a nice addition as well. And the face has some decent coloring on it too, where it looks very clean and very recognizable overall as a character. If you can get your hands on this and you're interested, definitely recommend it. Whether it is somewhere on the secondhand market, hopefully you don't have to pay too much. But with all that being said, let's go to some comparisons and the final verdict. If I had to give my sales pitch on why Truered, why you should get their products, it is just for their uniqueness overall. I've mentioned that in all of my reviews. Their design's super distinct. You look at one of their figures, you know it's theirs. I'm always really excited when they put out some pop culture figures that kind of blend in together with their style, and just having the nice little spread of all the different types of characters is really fun and interesting. Like you can see right here, all of their Patrick Star figures. I love that they print on very cool parts like those to just make their stuff even a little bit more different, where it's not going to be just minifigures, it's going to be strange monsters. And just looking at my favorite figure by them being the Creature from the Black Lagoon, all of these figures, even when they are a little bit crazier, a little bit more detailed, they all fit together in some way. Like I said, that's just their style. One thing I'll say is that all their figures are done with a hand crank pad printer. So out of all the custom Lego brands, if you put one figure next to another one that are the same, there will be some differences, but there's still a lot of quality and precision in their designs, where I don't think I've ever seen an issue with any of their figures. And if there are enough figures in their store at the time that would interest you, I definitely would recommend them. They're putting on some very unique characters, some fun heads in their head packs. I think there's a little bit of everything for everyone, but it just really comes down to shipping costs if you're in a different country, and if there are enough products to interest you. If you want to see more custom Lego reviews or Truered videos, check out the other videos on my channel. I've been Brick Radiop, and I'll see you in the next video.